Hello and welcome to another one of Optics Trades Reviews. Today we have here Leica binoculars. This is Noctivid 8x42. Now this is easily ranked nowadays as one of the top 3 standard binoculars on the market with a 42mm objective lens. And when we're talking about this category of binoculars, it is important to point out some of the history behind them. So it all started in 2007 when Swarovski introduced their first EL binoculars. Those were quite revolutionary and had the reputation of being the best binoculars on the market, and they had the crown for quite a while. Now, they were the first example of open bridge binoculars, which meant that they could be used single-handedly. So this is also an open bridge design. This is how it looks. Another innovation was that Swarovski implemented their field flattening system, which they named SwaroVision. And with it they managed to achieve a flat field of view, and with it better edge sharpness. And this was the most revolutionary thing at the time. Because of this, more details could be seen when observing. But there was also a negative side, which was that the users often became sick or nauseated when panning with these binoculars. Nevertheless, they became a great hit because of this field flattening system, and they were especially favored among bird watchers. Now, Swarovski EL were at the time a must-have for all the professional bird watchers. Other brands such as Leica and Zeiss could not compete with Swarovski at that time, but with the years it has come to a change. So quite recently both Zeiss and Leica managed to come up with an answer to Swarovski EL. And today we're going to talk about Leica's answer to Swarovski EL, so the Noctivid. Now Leica is a German company known for producing optics and high-end cameras, and they're of course among the, I would say, the top optics manufacturers beside Zeiss and Swarovski on the market. It features an open bridge construction and also field flattening lenses like Swarovski. Because of these lenses, the edge sharpness is significantly improved, but Leica didn't go so far as Swarovski, so they didn't completely flatten out a field of view like Swarovski, so some barrel distortion is still present. What this means? This basically means that the image is still slightly angled at the sides, and this is not necessarily a bad thing, because if the image is slightly angled at the sides, the user will not get as sick, as nauseated when panning. It will not be as confusing for the user. Now, the image also seems less artificial because of this. Keep in mind that our eyes are round, so having a distorted image at the sides is a little bit more natural for us. Okay, now we said something about history, we made an introduction. Let's move on to the characteristics of Leica Noctivid. This particular model here has the objective lens with diameter 42mm, so we've talked about this category in the introduction of this video. And it magnifies the image 8 times. This is the 8x42 model. There is also another model available, the 10x42. They are made in Germany. This is written here. They're quite heavy, and I would say they're heavier than other similar binoculars with the same configurations. They weigh around 900 grams. They're 155mm long, approximately 125mm wide when fully extended like now. But this basically means that they're quite compact, given that they're equipped with 42mm objective lens. So quite compact, but also a little bit heavier than other binoculars from this category. These are, I would say, great for mountain hunting, but they're also great for bird watchers. They're also a perfect choice for those who want a detailed, sharp image. If you want an even more detailed image, go for the 10x42, but if you want a wider field of view, then go for the 8x42. They offer an outstanding resolution, and if a hunter is in possession of these, they will of course be able to thoroughly inspect the trophy, not as thoroughly as with 10x42, but still very nicely. What is the Leica's advantage over, let's say, Zeiss or Swarovski? Well, the first one is the self-lubricating focus system that they use. It basically means that you get the same observing temperature, the same observing experience at all temperatures. And the focus works the same at minus 20 degrees Celsius as it works on, let's say, 30 degrees Celsius. So a really perfected system. Then the housing is made of lightweight magnesium, which is currently one of the best materials that a binoculars manufacturing company can use for a housing. And I would say that if we look at Noctivid, it is, I would say, almost next to impossible to currently manufacture binoculars that would be more durable than this. So this is for someone who wants to have a great optical experience and use binoculars for more than 20 years. Then what else? So Leica Noctivid has got a particularly slow focus, which means that you have to rotate the button focusing knob quite a lot to get to the desired focus. However, this is not necessarily a disadvantage, of course. On the contrary, many people are big fans of this. So this is all down to the user preference. The buyer will get these nice objective lens covers, which are attached to the objectives, making the user unable to lose them. They're made of rubber, and by using these you will ensure that your binoculars are well protected against scratches when you're not using them, and they're of course really easy to put back on and put down. The protective cap for the ocular lenses made of rubber is also included in the package. It is also very simple to put on and to remove. Then what's also there is this Leica case that you will get with the binoculars. It is nicely padded on the inside, nicely padded, so a great case to safely store your binoculars and ensure that you do not bump them against something. They're also a really nice choice of color by Leica, and of course their famous logo in the middle to make it more conspicuous. Then we have the carrying strap made of neoprene with Leica written on it, a lens cloth, a warranty card. You get 10 years of warranty when purchasing these binoculars, a certificate of authenticity, so that you get with a signature of the one who checked the binoculars before they were dispatched for sale. And then of course the instructions in a few languages so that you can get to know how to use your binoculars in the right way. Yeah, so these retail at the moment for 2,500 euros. The 10x42 model is 100 euros more expensive. Noctivid is equipped with roof prisms, Schmidt and Packham prisms to be more accurate. And what's also worth pointing out is that the Leica used the SCHOTT HD glass, which is currently one of the best types of glass in the industry of optics. The glass contains fluoride, and with them they were able to achieve the amazing 92% of light transmission rate. So this is also one of the great things about these binoculars. They're filled with dry nitrogen, which prevents internal fogging at low temperatures, and they're also waterproof. If you hold these in your hands, you can really tell that they're well made, both in terms of durability, reliability, and aesthetics. The build quality is of course on a very high level, but this is what we expect from companies such as Leica. Then the eyepieces. Many will agree with me when I say that these probably are equipped with one of the best eyepieces in the history of optics, of binoculars. They really allow the user to fix these at many positions, allowing for a quite long of eye relief. They can be really fixed quite in a few positions, as you can see, and they're really very comfortable to use. And once fixed in place, they will not move unless rotated. So very well made eyepieces by Leica. Focusing knob is here on the central part. It is very convenient to use. It is also very accurate. Some would perhaps prefer to have it in the inner side. Some could call this a disadvantage, but for someone who has longer fingers, I think that these are easily accessible and in a better position than inside. Then to set a diopter with Noctivid binoculars, you have to pull out the focusing knob and then set the diopter so that the image is sharp and adjusted to your eye. And when you're done, simply put it back in place, and now it works as a focusing knob again. Noctivid, of course, offers superb optical performance and includes a very wide field of view of 135 meters on 1000 meters. Leica is, of course, known for offering wide fields of view with their devices, both rifle scopes and binoculars. You also get extreme color fidelity and a really good contrast that only a few binoculars out there can match. So yeah, well, maybe perhaps if we mention a little bit more, if we say a little bit more about the 8 times magnification, well, it will provide you with a bigger field of view than its 10x42 counterpart, and obviously you will not get as many details as with the 10x42 version, but the binoculars are also less susceptible to handshaking. So when you have the 10x42 binoculars in your hand, your hands will have to be much more fixed for you to get a steady image than with the 8x42, which is why some people mount the 10x42 already on a tripod, while these ones are almost exclusively limited to using them with your hands. Okay, so we have gotten to the end of this review. Now it is time to, of course, point out some advantages and disadvantages, if there are any. Now there are, of course, quite a few advantages. The pluses are that, well, the first things first, these are currently among the top 3 binoculars with objective lens diameter of 42 millimeters, which is, of course, without doubt. So we have the Swarovski EL, we have the Zeiss Victory SF, and we have the Leica Noctivid. And there are many debates over which one is better than the other, but I would say it all comes down to the user preference. For some, the Leica Noctivid is better, for some the Zeiss is better. These are all top-notch binoculars, and of course everyone has to try all 3 to say which one is perhaps best to them. The build quality is exceptional. The optics are superb, so we have the 2 most important things that we look for when getting a binocular. Even in terms of aesthetics, these binoculars are really good looking. I would say that Leica never forgets about aesthetics, even when with the accessories. I also forgot to mention that many of additional even accessories of higher quality are available to be purchased extra, not only for Noctivid but for almost all optical devices that Leica makes. So and of course one of the pluses is also one of the best focusing system, self-lubricating, that works like a charm at all temperatures. Now as regards the disadvantages, I could point out the price, but these really are among the top 3, so you do expect them to be priced high. And then some would also say that this button could perhaps be moved in the interior here, but this is also, again, the user preference. It depends. Now, if you're looking for binoculars of the highest quality class that you plan on using for 20 years to come, or more. And if money is not the issue, then you have found the right product and you don't have to search any longer. Don't forget that Leica is one of the most reputable companies in the field of optics, and they're here to help if anything should fail after many years of use of these binoculars. I hope that you have found the information in this review useful. If you did, like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, check out our other videos. We already have many videos on Leica products, not just reviews but also debates. And thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye.